Hi, this is Grant Smillie from TV Rock, and you're watching Loop TV.
Hi, this is Kat for Loop TV, and we are in a very strange place catching up with Grant Smillie, who's one half of Australian duo TV Rock.
It's great to see you.
It's really good to see you. Now, Australian dance music coming more to the forefront now. Lots of Australian artists managing to break Europe, and you're newly into America now. How's that going for you?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it feels like finally now. In the past, it was almost a token gesture sometimes to put out dance music over there, unless you're on one of the major labels. It didn't really get to see the light of day. It feels like now everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon. I mean, without sort of going back to the obvious, but I mean, David Guetta is that Trojan horse, and everyone's sort of been waiting inside to jump out and jump on that sort of bandwagon. But now a lot of other labels are interested in playing that sort of music, call it dance electronic or whatever you want to call it, and the festivals now are starting to be really popular. And while the first time I went to America, you would be lucky to do New York, LA, Miami, Washington, sort of and San Fran, but now it seems that there's festivals happening really strong, and club scenes are really embracing the dance scene. It was an urban scene for a very long time, and it still feels somewhat that we need to have a record that doesn't have that crutch of a Kelly Rowland or a Akon or some sort of American artist on there. The time when it'll be truly strong is when house music stands up on its own 2 feet and says, well, this is what we do around the rest of the world, and come in line or go away.
Now, one of the things that you're doing as well is you have been for some time a pioneer pro DJ ambassador, and I'm assuming that allows you access to a lot of new kit and sort of test the products. How have you felt about the new CDJ 2000s? Have they started revolutionising your gigging?
Yeah, it's fantastic, to be honest. I mean, it's not that much different to the 1000s, apart from obviously the USB and SD sort of technology. I mean, now I sit on a plane and I make an edit, put on a USB stick and go out and play it within minutes of finishing it. That's exciting. Even traveling around, I take a backup CD wallet and sort of spec the 2000s everywhere. So it's changed the way about how I go about to a gig and how I try and prepare for it. I can make a playlist that's relevant for one venue only, which is great. And there's some more new stuff coming. The 2000 mix has been fantastic, new white noise effects and things like that. And then now there's a new control surface they're about to release. I mean, it's been primarily a Tractor and Ableton kind of platform where they plug in, you have to use other adapters to try and, it's crazy, these leads, they're like, forget it. But Pioneer have now got this new platform, which is going to come later this year, early next year, which is going to be really exciting. And they're now going to be able, in that sort of market, to be the bridge, the gap from computer DJs to be a pioneer all the way through, and so it's going to link into the new mixing consoles and everything, just seamless. So that's really exciting. But for me, I'm never going to be a purely a laptop DJ. I need to see the hands, and I think people still want that interaction. That's for me.
Yeah, I mean, it has been said before, if you look at a DJ and he doesn't touch a deck at all, he could be reading his email. And
yeah.
Have you done that?
No, I've never done that. But it does. I always sit there and say, what are you doing? Checking your MySpace, like a Facebook, whatever it does. It's not that engaging with the crowd, and I think people love to see, even though now, even with the 2000s of the USB stick, you are still scrolling through and finding tracks, but it still feels to me more organic than going to check on a screen. And for whatever reason, it is technically probably just as hard to do that as selecting an MP3 file off a USB key, but it seems that people are more accepting of a traditional format DJing.
So you're also co-host of Australia's biggest dance show, is Overdrive, and you've been doing some more radio stuff and TV stuff. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, Overdrive's been going now for 5 years. I've been doing it. It's our 250th show. It's just coming up, and to take it from what was originally a Melbourne-based show to now a national show over the last 5 years, and then to TV, and to expand that show out into new formats. When we never used to have enough video clips even to be able to get a whole show together for TV, but now we're sort of, there's a proliferation of them. So that's great, and I think that there's the ability through this show to break new music, and that's sort of what we have to do. Otherwise we're going to be stuck with just mediocre releases, and no wonder they won't add anything to mainstream radio if we're not really pushing and trying to break stuff. And Yolanda Be Cool came from a good friend of mine, and he made that record because he kept on getting kicked off the decks at this club because he wasn't commercial enough. And he said, I'm going to make a record that's commercial enough that I won't get kicked off the decks. And that's how it all came about.
And it's funny how these things happen. Is sometimes somebody takes up the challenge. We talked to Deadmau5 about some of his first stuff, which was almost a sort of slapdash comment on the industry, and it took him straight to the top.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly right. I mean, where does an idea come from? I mean, we can all sit there and Google how to make a compressor channel work and how does this do that. I mean, at the end of the day, the riff and the idea is the key to any successful record. And I think if you go to write a pop hit, then I struggle. But if I write a great club hit that I really like, and then the people vote with their feet, and then ultimately they buy it, and if they like it, then you got a hit on your hands.
So where does your heart lie? Are you primarily a DJ? Are you a producer? Are you where does your heart lie? If you had to give it all up except one thing, what would it be?
Well, unfortunately, they sort of go hand in hand. I mean, I think DJing's great because it's you get that instant gratification. You make a record and you know straight away whether it's worked or not. There's no greater feeling than playing a main stage somewhere and 10,000 people sing a record that you produced. That's pretty amazing. But equally, if you weren't there, then you never knew that I was there, then you missed it. And a song lasts forever. So I guess the indulgent side of me would say that if I can't have my cake and eat it, so I probably just need to make the records, and because they're there when in 50 years' time they're still around.
Bake the cake and just look at it.
No, I don't want to do that. I want to eat it.
So apart from the Pioneers at Pioneer, what other kit is sort of rocking your world at the moment?
Well, look, I mean, even as from a software perspective, some of the new Rob Papen stuff we're really loving, and then even just for the traveling guy that I am, to be able to work on the road, to be able to have everything on your new MacBook Pro and a little roll-up synthesizer I've got, so I can work on the plane. It's ridiculous. The technology is amazing. So, there's no longer an excuse where I can't get to my studio. You better do it wherever you can. So I'll sneak it on a plane, in a hotel, or even in a disco just to finish it off.
And Grant, you are doing it everywhere, aren't you?
Try my very best.
It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, and hopefully we'll catch up with you again. Thank you very much. It's Kat for Loop TV.